Hello everyone, welcome back. This is day 9. Now, what I'm going to do today to make this as valuable as I can for you is prioritizing some of the more strength and balance aspects of our workout. I think coming to day 9, we're very familiar with the warm-up, with our mobility, the preparations for what we need to do before we go to the more challenging aspects of the workout. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time going through some balance work and going through some strength work today. So please, before you engage in any of the exercises that are coming next, make sure we're going through a proper warm-up. We're doing some leg marches, we're doing some arm swings, we're doing some heel to toes, we're doing maybe some side twists or some side bends, engaging in some endurance, getting that heart rate nice and elevated, and then, only then, go into these the next exercises I'm about to show you. So pause the video, maybe go back to day 8, engage in that warm-up, and then come back for the balance exercises I'm going to show you next. We're going to begin with our tandem stands and tandem walks. I believe we left ourselves in a really good position yesterday, I always think it's last week. But what we're going to do, again, making sure we have that long base of support, I'm going to show you how the balance exercises have a natural kind of progression, how we can work from a relatively simple, less challenging exercise to make it more difficult depending on your skill level. Again, we have this wide base of support. Hand can be there. We're going to challenge our balance first by standing in our heel to toe stance. So take that outside foot, bring it over to meet the toe, heel to toe, back nice and straight. The chest is open. I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking down. I'm going to start to reduce now the amount of reliance I have on that support option. Maybe I go 2 fingers, and I'm trying to hold this position here for about 10 seconds. If this is easy, maybe I'll go to 1 finger, maybe I go to no fingers, and I'm just trying to hold and test my balance. You're going to notice your weight coming either to the right or to the left, but we're trying to maintain that nice healthy posture. I think that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back to full standing. Really good. Opposite side now, just so you can see. Different position. Again, my support options here. If we want to make this a little bit more difficult, like I say, we can take the support option away, or we can increase the duration. So perhaps now we do 15 seconds. So heel and toe are meeting. Nice tall back, open chest, head is forward. I'm looking where am I going. My center of gravity is over my hips, and I'm hanging out in this position for 15. And as I get more confident, I'm starting to reduce, I hope you can see, I'm starting to reduce my reliance on my support option until I have no hands. Say that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to standing. Really well done. You can see there how I can just begin, if you're unsure, if you're not that confident about taking the support option away, how I can always choose to come back to it if I feel a little bit unsteady. It's there to be used, it's there to support you, so please ensure that you've got these tools, these resources available for you. Now, how do we make this exercise more difficult? We introduced the dynamic aspect, the tandem walk, so incorporating some movement into this exercise, and this is a way you can progress it. You can make it a little bit more challenging. So again, we stand side on, we're back in our position here. Well, this time we're traveling, we're moving in this direction. I'm going to stand this side so you can see that it's the leg closest to you that's moving first. This is coming around and over to meet the toe. Again, I'm not dropping my head, I'm keeping it nice and high, I'm looking where I'm going, I'm feeling that weight. If you look at my feet, you can feel the weight being distributed through the big toe, the heel, as that other foot comes round to meet the toe. I'm traveling, my energy is moving in this direction until I meet the end, and then I come to standing. I turn around and I'm ready for my next run. Again, if this is easy, if this is proving easy for yourself, reducing your reliance on the support options is going to be for you, tailoring to your ability. So as I start to walk again, maybe I start to take both of my hands away. I'm still traveling, but again, if I need it, it is there for me. And I'm traveling in this direction. And that is a little bit more challenging. As I'm moving, I can feel the pull to either go to the right or to the left. It's like walking along a tightrope. I think I've used that analogy before. So we've started from our stands. We've gone into some dynamic walks. We know we can increase the intensity by reducing the reliance on the support options, or increasing the time spent in these unbalanced positions. So maybe we did 2 bouts there, 2 runs. Maybe if it's easy, I go again for another 2. I go for another 2 runs here. How do we make this even more challenging? If this is very, very easy for you, how do you make it even more challenging? The idea of balance is that we reduce the surface area we have control of. So we reduce the contact we have with the floor. If you look at my feet, I've got quite a nice wide base here. If I bring this closer together, I'm a little bit more wobbly. If I bring that in front again, I'm a little bit more wobbly. If I go onto my tiptoes, it's even more challenging. So what we can do, and please, only if you're comfortable, we have our, please start with a support option here. Nice and tall. Maybe I go on my tiptoes here, and then I start to walk. I start to walk on my tiptoes, going very controlled. I'm not letting my head drop. I'm keeping it eye level. I'm moving forward, but I'm on my tiptoes. Once I get to the end, I relax. That is a very challenging exercise. It ties in some of the other exercises we did previously, if you think about our heel raises, but it meshes them together. It combines them with our tandem walks as well. So please, if you're feeling like these exercises aren't challenging enough, that is a exercise that can be available to you. I'm just going to demonstrate one more time from this angle. So we can push up first onto our tiptoes, finding our balance here. We might want to hang around here for a couple of moments just to make sure, and maybe I want to test that. Maybe I want to do some heel raises here. Feel the contraction at the back of the lower leg. I'm just exploring how much time can I actually spend in this position. Maybe even before I've started walking, I'm just going to do tiptoe holds. So I can go up onto my tiptoes. Maybe I'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I relax. Maybe I'll do another set. Maybe this time I go for 10 seconds. You see how you can start to build some momentum. You can start to build some challenges if you need it, until you get to the stage where I can get onto my tiptoes, I can hold it for maybe 10 seconds plus, and then I can start to walk, I can start to add some movement in. I'm keeping my chest open, but I'm tiptoeing forward, and I'm just walking on my tiptoes, and then I come to the end, and I come to standing, and then again you can start to, well, maybe if I want to go on my tiptoes, I can start to bring one foot in front of the other. Again, you can see how you can start to manipulate the variables to make it more challenging. Please, please, please be mindful about it. Tailor it to your own abilities, and go slowly. Go slowly. So we've done, I wanted to share that with you because I think it's really important that beyond these videos, beyond the selection of 10, that you have an understanding of how to make things a little bit more challenging for yourself, or how I can make it a little bit easier for myself, because we need to constantly be asking that question. Is this too easy for me? Am I really benefiting from this exercise, or is this too hard for me? Am I putting myself more at risk by doing this? How do I make this easier? So things like reducing the time, reducing the sets, increasing again the surface area, and please replay this video as many times as you want so you can get the most benefit out of it for either yourself or for the people you care for. I'm going to do the same thing for strength now. So I'm going to put one of these chairs away. I'm going to put this at the back. And we're going to begin with our sit to stands. We haven't done some sit to stands in a while. Again, I want to make sure that we can see. So we talked about how important it was to be breaking up periods of sedentary behavior with sit to stands. If we are a little bit comfy, we can hip walk. Hip walking in itself can prove a minor challenge. What I would suggest, if standing up from a seated position is difficult in itself, choose a chair with some arms. Unfortunately, I don't have that equipment with me now, but if you have a chair with arms, understand you can use your arms to get you up halfway before your legs come in and take some of that weight off. What you're doing is you're distributing your body weight, not solely through the legs, but through the arms as well. This is why it's very important when I say, when we do our sit to stands, make sure the heel's in, but make sure our hands are on either side of the chair, because we're pushing through our hands to help get our weight up and into a standing position. So again, I'll reiterate, if getting up from a seated position in a chair without arms is challenging, try with arms. See if you can push yourself halfway up before your legs come in to help. We're gonna do 5 just to start off with. So hands on either side, heels are tucked in, nose are over toes, and on 3, 2, 1, pushing through the heels, pushing through the palms also till we're in a standing position. We're paddling the feet. We're paddling the feet. And then we're coming back, we're feeling the chair with the back to the knees. The hips are going back to meet the chair, palms, comfy. Hip walking forward again. Hip walking forward to the edge of the chair. Arms on either side, heels tucked in, nose are over toes. 3, 2, 1, pushing through the heels, pushing through the arms, nice and tall, paddling the feet. Really good. Let's come back, feeling for the chair. Hips go back, come to meet the chair. Hip walking forward. Hip walking forward. And hands on either side. Heels underneath. Nose over toes. 3, 2, 1. Pushing through the palms, pushing through the heels. Nice and tall. Little paddle, I believe that's 4. Coming back, feeling for the chair. Hips go back, meet the chair. And we're hip walking. Hip walking again. Again, you're going to start to notice some of the warmth creeping into the thigh muscles in the calves. Even again, if we're using our arms to push up, you might feel it in the backs of your arms. Again, nose over toes, heels underneath us. 3, 2, 1, pushing up to a standing position, always paddling, and then to stand. So how do we make the sit to stand more challenging? What I would recommend is, again, playing with those variables that I mentioned. I think I introduced them in days 6 and 7. We can add another set. So we just did 5 there. We can go back to our chair, add another 5, add another 5 beyond that if you're really trying to challenge yourself. Or in one set, we could add more repetitions. So we wouldn't stop at 5, maybe we go to 10. Or if 10's too much, maybe we do 8. And again, it's being aware of the variables we can change, the repetitions, the duration. We can manipulate these to tailor our own abilities. So that's something I really want to stress here. What we can do, though it is a balance exercise, we can recognize how to make the movement pattern, because what we're really doing, we're hinging at the hips. It's this action, the sit to stand, is like it says on the tin, it's to get us seated and to get us standing. It's a variation of a squat. So the hips are going backwards. There's a little bend in the knees and we're coming up. Very, very similar to our knee bends we would introduce in the balance exercise. So if we take a variable like range of motion, how deeply we go into the movement, we can start to play around here. So if we have our knee bends, if you want to join along with me here, I want to show you how you can again start to play with some of the variables that help us get stronger and healthier and fitter. The hips go back, a little bend in the knees. Maybe it's just a shallow one. Maybe I'm not going that far. Hips go back, a little bend in the knees. This is quite easy, it's quite comfortable. I'm not moving too far. I'm just getting a little bend in the knees and coming up. Very shallow, very shallow. Likewise, I can go deeper. Hips can come back, little bend in the knees. I'm going a little bit deeper here. Hips are coming back, little bend in the knees. I'm going a little bit deeper, okay? Again, I'm imagining there's a small chair behind me. My hips are going back, little bend in the knees and up nice and tall. That's making it more difficult. I can really start to feel the muscles working in the thighs, backs of the thighs, the buttock area as well. Calves working to stabilize the muscles. And again, I can take that furthermore. I can go a little bit deeper. The hips go back. I come almost right down, but I've still got my support option here. And that is another variation we can play with. Perhaps if we're doing shallow squats, I take one hand away. I'm still doing shallow, but I have a support here. Maybe I still do shallow squats, but I take both hands away. It's still there if I need, but I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far. It's really important that I stress this, and this is day 9. What my plan is, I'm going to do a full day tomorrow for day 10, put it all together in the longest lesson yet, and because I want this to be valuable and resourceful for you beyond day 10. So that's why I'm trying to add a little bit, as much education in this as humanly possible. Let's continue with some knee bends. Let's just finish off with another 3, because again, I notice if I'm reducing the amount of reliance I have on my support option here, I can then combine that with the depth that I'm going. So maybe I do one hand, but this time my hips go back. I'm going a little bit deeper. That's challenging. Hips go back, going deeper, trying to keep the chest upright, head nice and tall, up. Last one now, hips go back and comfy, really good. And you're gonna feel that if you're following along. You're going to really feel that in the upper thigh area, the back of the hips. Excellent. Let's conclude this with some stretches. I understand today was more of a kind of how-to, but tomorrow, like I said, I promise I'm going to take you through a longer lesson, and we're going to cover every single area, including the endurance. And I'm going to make it as real of a lesson as I can for you to follow along. There will be some challenging aspects in it, but I'll try and offer you some suitable regressions or progressions throughout, like I do. Stretching, one leg nice and long, one bent knee, hands are going to be on that bent knee. Again, we want to make sure we're warm, so we can do a little leg march if we're feeling cold, but that chest is coming over, feeling the stretch in the back of the thigh, holding there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming nice and tall. Opposite foot now, one bent knee, hands on that bent knee is acting as a support option. The chest is coming forward, feeling for the stretch in the back of the leg, holding. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. Let's finish with a chest stretch, I think. Haven't done that in a while, so profile view, if we can. Edge of the chair, hands come back to meet the chair, sitting up nice and tall. You can already feel that tension coming across the chest, the shoulders, holding that position there. If we can't, we can always grab underneath and it has the same effect. We just want to make sure that our back is straight and the chest is open. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Good stuff. That is going to conclude today's education / day 9. Tomorrow for day 10, for our final day, I'm going to make it longer. I'm going to incorporate all the elements that we have covered from days 1 to 10, and I really hope it's a celebration of everything we've been through together if you're with me for day 10. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have some fun. But if not, again, I do want to say, I haven't referenced this recently, but muscle soreness, things of that nature, perfectly normal. The body is just trying to equip itself better by recovering, strengthening the muscles for next time. So please stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see each other tomorrow for a big final send-off for day 10.